So in that nature, you're kind of like cutting people out of work.
Right.
And as you do that and our population increases, especially when it comes to like the matter of the arts, how do artists stay being artists? And to, like, I mean, just like it is to be any profession, you have a period of where you start to learn the craft and then you spend many, 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 many years perfecting it and growing more and more
Right.
knowledge in it until you are a like specialist. And like most people in most industries would argue that would take 20 years to get to the point where you're really, at a place and like peak expert. How do you provide those jobs for those growing number of, let's say, artists who may used to work at marketing
Right.
agencies and make that art, but now it's all done by AI? So
Yeah.
I think it's like that's I think the kind of
It's a
push
weird.
pull of
Yeah.
like the technology versus like how it may or may not impact our systems of society.
So it's like you have a couple. It's like so there's a couple things. So it's like first off, like the rules and laws about AI made images, you can't copyright them. So let's just say unless you edit them to a certain extent, it's just like appropriating an image from online and then you edit it down to, and you make it yours. So if you take an image from Marvel and it's Iron Man and you change it to enough, that piece of art becomes yours. So that the AI holds that ground. But if it's just an AI image that you post on, a thumbnail, or let's just say you are an artist and you're creating art to compete against artists who went to school and did all that stuff, you have to change that image and also figure out how to prove that. I don't know how you do that. So there's that, and then there's also like what you're saying. What do you do with those artists now that there's
Yeah,
two?
and I mean the truth is like artists are not the biggest threat in that
No.
technology right now. I mean, you look at things like paralegals, accountants who are doing
Yes.
bookkeeping. Like these are huge swaths of hundreds of thousands of people who have jobs where AI is infiltrating it right now
Right.
and going to basically make a lot of their jobs obsolete. Like,
Right.
what are those people going to do? How will they even have the career for 15, 20 years to be able to look and see, get to that next level of running an accountant department, right? What 100 people used to do will now take two people.
Well,
So,
it's
And
like any old professions need to evolve, like older professions needed to evolve to the technology, to the times. It's the same with all of the current professions of trying to utilize it in a way or use it as a tool. Like we were been saying, how can not necessarily an accountant jump to that managing all these AIs, but like lantern lighters, like people would walk down the street, go light the lanterns every night. Those jobs are gone with
right.
electricity. There are huge jumps in technology that make the human effort and time more valuable, more efficient.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of those large leaps. And it's like any other major technological change, there is going to be a rough struggle on finding those new jobs are going to be or where time and human effort is best used.
Like there will be jobs for these people, but it's just, of that I don't know about exactly. But it's like, my wife's uncle owned a cab company and he just sold it. He like literally just sold it a month before the Uber boom. And like if he had waited like another couple weeks, like there wouldn't that price of that sale would have been nothing, you know. I feel bad for the guy that bought it. Like that guy is that guy is like the guy we're talking about. Now
Yeah.
you have to lower your costs. So like, yeah, the artists that make these thumbnails, they were charging. I looked it up. They were charging anywhere between 5, 15, $30 an image to make. Just let's just keep it on the thumbnail. So someone like me would go online, create this thing. Maybe I'm not good at it, don't know how to do it, or I have another job or whatever. They would hire these guys for $5 to $30 to create a thumbnail. After the AI boom, that price dropped a lot. It's now like you're lucky to get $5, maybe $10. You know, But again, but not again, I didn't make this point yet. But if the artists were so good, I don't think if they had enough skill, or it wouldn't really matter. I don't think that like the guys who want a painting in their living room are still going to go to a painter to get the painting done. But it's just like, the quality of the art also has to be there. You can't just like this guy on X, to bring it back to that guy. Like this guy was saying I mean, the amount of crap that he said about. And I know he's a troll, so whatever. But you look at his images and his stuff. All it is cutouts of Disney Iron Man fused on top of something else. Now I don't know if he created this stuff. I'm sure that if he made a lot of money, and I'm talking a lot of money, not $5-10 a pop, I'm sure that Disney would eventually come to him and say, "Hey, you stole all of our content," So there's that with that guy. So watch what you say. But when you come back to the artist, like it's like a tough pill to swallow. Like now, I was an artist back in the day. I still view myself as one, just I have a different medium now. It's called raising my goddamn kids. But I just think that like it's a hard pill to swallow because there's like a lot of people are not going to make that cut. Like one of our friends went and did a show downtown recently. His art's amazing. I don't know how he's like one of like the one in like 10, 100,000 that make it. And like he's got an individual style that people like, and I don't think he has to worry about AI. But like it depends on your medium. I know this thing affects music. It affects, as you were saying, banking. Like the guys who go in, take your money and invest. You can just type in AI and it will do it for you. Eventually, like what's going to happen with the banking sector? Like you're just going to say, hey, log on to, let's just say Charles Schwab like has an AI program. You're just going to type in there and boom. It's gonna, it's crazy what the amount of power that AI has. So, but when it comes to artists, like it makes it a more difficult like industry than it already is, which is already difficult, So like I get it, but at the same time, to Chris's token, like it's evolution. Like
as many industries as it's scaling down, it's creating new opportunities for new jobs. Like one thing, Spencer, you mentioned you were an artist, you went to a college and got an art degree. And I think your knowledge of how to create beautiful art helps you make nicer AI images. Like if you and I both sat down, your images are going to be a hell of a lot nicer than what I'm going to create because you have the eye of an artist. You know what looks good. You can describe and explain aspects of the artwork that I just don't understand as an engineer.